Welcome to One More Game presented by Hoosier Pickleball. I am your host, Matt Brandenberger, joined alongside my lovely sun-kissed wife, Abigail.
Hello.
Sun-kissed, half-baked, what do you prefer?
Well, half-baked has several meanings, so
we're
going to go with sun-kissed.
We'll go with sun-kissed because you have never partaken of any gummies, just for the record. But yeah, we are actually down here in beautiful Siesta Key, Florida.
It is hot.
On spring break. It's the hottest. I've been here literally 30 years, not straight, but on spring break for 30 years, give or take a couple years here and there. And this is by far the hottest that it's ever been.
Our kids are fried.
Yeah. It could be worse, though. I mean, they are fried, but I wouldn't say fried to the point where they can't be in the sun.
Right.
They've kind of gotten burned a little bit, but we're out there. We've got shirts on them.
Yeah.
It hasn't really slowed them down.
No.
We haven't had, like, in some years, I think we've had kids, like, we're back in the condo, can't even function for a day or so.
I'm thankful for that.
So we're thankful for that. So we still wanted to bring you a episode of One More Game because
that's what we do.
That's what we do. We keep going. So it's a little different. This is not the beautiful studio that we are typically in. This is our bedroom because we have several kids out in the other room sleeping.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I mean, seven of us in this condo is a little tight.
Yeah, there's a very good chance somebody will walk through this door at some point. But if that happens, it happens, but we're going to roll with it until that. We do have two kids who are still out getting ice cream, which is a total change also.
This is different for us.
So our oldest two being in 8th grade and 6th grade, went across the street with a bunch of their friends to get ice cream.
Kind of new independence.
It is. A little nerve-wracking for mom and dad, but we thought, well, we'll just get our minds off it and record an episode of One More Game. So here we are. So yes, we'll just be full disclosure. It is Wednesday night and, this will be released on Monday. So we still have a couple days left here, but it's been a full week. Yeah. I mean, you look back.
I'm exhausted.
Pickleball wise, family wise, it's been full. So we left, late on Thursday night, drove through the night, got in Friday. Should we just kind of walk through this whole progression?
Yeah, and we arrived Friday, and we went to our hotel, right? Mm-hmm. Which was the crappiest.
It was.
It was worse than our Airbnb in Florida.
Yeah, we're not going to throw...
And that one had a dead lizard on the floor.
Right.
And this was worse.
Yes, this was way worse. And we're not going to throw any hotel chains under the bus.
No, I don't think it's the hotel chain's problem.
No, it really
This was
wasn't.
like... There were people who were riding their bikes on meth.
Right.
Like, we're talking, like, the drug. Like, there were
right
people
outside.
doing drugs.
Yeah. It was a hotel by name, but it was a motel by...
Oh, it was...
It was rough.
So, for the 7 of us, we had 2 double beds.
And so, listen, we're adventurous. And when I
we
say
are adventurous.
We are adventurous, I mean I am adventurous.
And by adventurous, you mean cheap.
Yes, I was going to say that. So it was...
so I was like, I'm sleeping in the car.
And you know what? When our kids, 5 years ago, when our kids were...
Tiny,
all the way from, a little tiny baby that slept in probably a little crib. What do we call those things? Pack and play?
Pack and play.
Yeah, it's funny when we had to bring a pack and play back in the day.
Yeah. All
the way up to our oldest at that time was like
7.
9.
Yeah, 9.
Whatever.
Yeah.
It was easy. We could get a hotel room, few could crash, we could fit 3 in a bed.
We have
couple
2
double
grown
beds,
women,
right?
daughters.
But now I have 3 grown women in my life, and then another
3 whatever
littler-ish
Yeah,
ones.
so we have the tightest, crappiest hotel in the shadiest part of town.
It wasn't 2 queen beds. It was 2 double beds. So
there is a point to this story.
Right. So here's kind of when we get there. We've driven through the night. We check in, and I think we were still like, "Oh, we can do this." I was kind of like that, anyways.
I was like, "I'm sleeping in the car."
You were done immediately. Yeah, Abby's like, "I'm sleeping in the car," and I'm like, "You're not. I'm not going to allow you to sleep in the van." And the low that day was like 75 degrees. And there's one of our daughters. Told you we'd get interrupted at some point. Should we take a quick commercial break?
We sure should.
Okay. She's walking through. There she is. Okay. We will be right back with more of One More Game right after this. Come join the fun at pickleballrocks.com, your trusted authority when it comes to all your pickleball needs. Apparel, paddles, bags, hats, you name it, you'll find it there. Family owned and operated for nearly 15 years.
Matt and I are growth pros for Pickleball Rocks, and for being a loyal listener of the One More Game podcast, we can offer you a 15% discount at checkout when you use the code MATTB15. So head over to pickleballrocks.com and check it out. Let's play.
All right, welcome back to One More Game presented by Hoosier Pickleball. That was a quick commercial break. We told you we'd have kids interrupting us, but that's okay. So where were we with this story?
So we've arrived in I can't even say it. Like, I was going to say a swear word, but we arrive in a crap hole of a hotel.
Yep. PG. Thanks for keeping it PG.
No problem.
Not great. And so, but here's kind of the pickleball side of things.
Yeah.
We had made plans. I had made plans.
Of course. So what Matt does, how do you find people to play with in
and this
other
is a good
cities?
tip for you pickleballers out there. Duper is a great source. So I went on Duper and I searched around the Sarasota area, and I found, Abby and I being a little bit higher level players, I searched for like 4-5 to 5-0 play somewhere in there, and found a couple people that looked like solid players and reached out to them. Probably had about 5 or 6 people. I will say the messaging system in Duper is not great because you don't see any messages unless you get into Duper, and people aren't like on Duper daily.
I don't check my. You had to tell me you sent me a Duper
so
message.
I tested with you. You didn't get like a notification. So
no.
My feedback to Duper would be if they could put something like anytime you get a message, like an email notification saying, "Hey, you have a message, unread message in Duper."
Yeah.
Am I boring you with this
no,
story?
No, you're doing so great. I'm
okay.
really tired.
You are really tired. This is later than we have ever taped anything. So anyways, I did find a handful of people, reached out initially in Duper, didn't hear anything back, but then searched for them on Facebook and found them on Facebook. And it was great. So
they were so awesome.
They were.
To welcome us. And
so many people, and it was just this whole trip, at least the first half of our trip, where we played a little bit more with some people from the area. It was just another testament to how awesome it is to meet new people.
And how like pickleball is like such a community.
Yeah.
Where it's like, well, sure, we'll get a group together.
Right.
And we'll go play.
Or you can stay at our condo tonight.
Okay, so yes, that's also part of the story.
So first, to kind of backtrack. So we get in, it's Friday afternoon. We had made plans then to play that evening. So we hung out at the hotel. I actually got a little nap in.
We went to the pool.
You walked around the sketch part of town.
We sure did.
And with the girls, which probably wasn't great in retrospect, but you were safe. And you were going to be at the pool, but it was actually your decision that you're like, no, we'll walk around. So you walked to 7-Eleven. So anyways, we ended up then playing in the evening at this park that was actually a little bit of a drive then. So we had driven all night in for the afternoon, and then we drive again to play pickleball. Yes, we're addicted. And
well, hold on. I want to interject. As we pull in, a Ferrari pulls in with a Yola license plate.
Yola, not YOLO. Not you only live once.
No.
JOOLA. Yeah.
So Matt is like,
this guy gets out, and I'm like, oh, I can tell you're here for pickleball. And he was part of our group that had gotten set up. So we'll just like our friends that we had kind of reached out to was a gal in the area by the name of Erica Love. And Erica, it was first her boyfriend, Adam, that I talked to, who said, Erica's the one that sets up games. We'll get something together. So initially it was maybe just going to be the 4 of us playing like a mixed with them, but they got 4 more people, including this guy who rolls up.
And we didn't know this at the time.
Right. But this guy's like somewhat like, what is this, like Central Coast famous? I don't know, like the Sarasota area famous.
For hashtag.
Yeah, hashtag.
Wooden Paddle Gary.
Yep, WPG. I don't know if anybody calls him that. I did, though. But he plays
So he has a Yola license plate and a Ferrari.
Which evidently is like an ironic joke, I guess.
Right, because he's friends with all those people.
He said he was just hanging out with them.
He was hanging out with them.
So.
But what paddle does he use?
Right. We may need to get Wooden Paddle Gary on the pod.
That seems exhausting.
What if he's listening?
But awesome.
Yeah. He was a really nice guy. He very confident, but like
played with a wooden paddle
and was legit with his wooden paddle. Like had some sweet wrist action.
Right, but really all you had to do was get out of the way.
There were a lot of outballs.
I got nailed so many times trying to get out of the way.
Right.
Like shoulder, chest,
you
leg.
were, and that first night you were half asleep too. Like you were not like in your playing real well. So anyways, we get done playing. Great night. Sun goes down. We're talking. We're like, all right, well, we're gonna head back to our crappy hotel.
We haven't slept all night. We haven't slept for 24 hours at this point.
Yeah.
And we're gonna go get no sleep at our crappy hotel.
Right. Well, then Erica is like, well, I have a place you can stay at. We've got a condo, and we're like usually it'd be like, oh no, that's well.
Cool. Then her boyfriend said, I work at that Mercedes dealership. That's not a good part of town.
Right near where our hotel was.
Yeah, he's like, don't stay there.
Yeah. So we kind of jumped on it. Like, thank you, Erica, again, like for the millionth time.
That was amazing.
If you're listening, but that was so kind and so nice. So
we stayed at a stranger's condo.
We did. I mean, not a stranger. It's Erica Love.
It is.
She's awesome. Not a stranger anymore, but
we slept at her house.
Right, three hours before she was a stranger, but we'd played pickleball.
Now we're best friends.
Right. Now we're best friends. So we stayed at her condo.
And when we went back to get our stuff at the hotel, the police were in the parking lot.
They were in the parking lot. True story. So we packed up as quick as humanly possible and drove back to her place.
Had the best night's sleep of my life.
Seriously, we slept really well. I think just the thought of knowing what could have been made it so much better because I slept great too. The girls slept.
I did text somebody and I was like, I'm going to go sleep at a stranger's house so I could get murdered.
Right. I mean, I had a pretty good feel that neither Erica nor Adam were going to murder us.
I didn't think so either.
Right.
But still.
But you never know. So that was fun. Good memory there. The girls were really appreciative too. So.
Well, so then we wake up the next morning.
And well, what better to do than play
more pickleball
with Adam.
With Adam and Erica.
And Erica, because they have a place basically at her condo where we stayed. They had courts that were right there, so we played with them for a couple hours before they went. What was it called? Windsurfing.
Windsurfing. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we are going to have them on. What just happened there? Oh, that was Hannah in the bathroom.
I broke something.
Oh crap! She broke something. This is live podcasting. So, anyways, we did play pickleball with them. Then they had to go windsurfing. They're pretty adventurous people because they had also swam with sharks not too long ago as well.
So, pro tip: if you're around sharks, you just punch them in the nose.
Oh, they did tell us that. Yeah, we had some good. I mean,
just tap them on the nose and they won't eat you.
Yeah, we had some good laughs with.
Pro tip, guys.
With them, so there you go. That was a freebie.
Oh, we should tell zebra strategy. Zebra.
We'll save that for when they're on the podcast because we are going to have them on the podcast.
Yeah, that'd be so fun.
Yeah, so we did have a lot of fun with them, and they were good games. I mean,
they're playing 5-0 at the Open in a couple weeks.
Yep, we won some, we lost some. It was they probably were taking it easy on us, or at least
we were taking it easy on them.
Maybe. Who knows? Yeah. So great time with them, and then we headed to Siesta Key to check into our condo, which was on Saturday. Then, did we play any more on Saturday?
That night we went back.
Did we really? Man, as we say this out loud.
This is embarrassing.
This is embarrassing. Definitely getting judged by some friends and family, I'm sure.
Now judging myself.
Oh, we're judging ourselves. Did we really? What was that
night? Or was
it
the next night that we went back to those courts and played? It was the next morning with Preston.
Yeah, because they were setting something up.
So we went back the next morning.
Was that Sunday morning then? Uh-huh. Okay. So we didn't play again Saturday, but we did play Sunday.
With Wooden Paddle Gary.
And Wooden Paddle Gary showed up again. Uh-huh. That was Sunday? All these days are running together, for sure.
It was.
But that was a lot of fun too. So Preston, like kind of another side story of just like meeting these people. When we showed up to play that first night, I see this guy and I'm like, man, he looks familiar. And he kind of looks at me and he's like, we played together. We played against each other. And he remembered right away. He's like, Naples last year. I was like, no. I said, it was out at Nationals. Because he actually has a doppelganger.
He does look like
he looks
that
exactly
guy, yeah.
like another guy named, what did we say? Had it. Chris? Anyways, he does look like another guy that somebody else is like, oh no, I know who you're talking about. It's this guy from Minnesota or something.
Yeah.
And it's like crazy that and so we looked him up and it's exactly who I thought it was.
Yeah.
So they do have a lot of similarities. They do look a lot alike. But this guy, his name's Preston.
He was super awesome.
Yeah, he was. Higdon, I think is how you say his last name. Great dude. Had a lot of fun. Remembering then that we had played against each other. He was right at Naples the previous year in men's doubles against each other. So we did hook up with him and played again on Sunday. So that was the kind of the second time we went out, because he had kind of had a group of about 12 of them, pretty high level players. And so we went out and played. That was in the morning on Sunday or on Monday?
I don't know.
What
day is it?
What does it? It's Wednesday.
Okay.
This must have been Sunday. I don't know. So that was, that was a lot of fun though. And Preston was a good dude to set that up for us. So.
We met various other people who were really nice, and one lady even said, if you're ever in the area, call me. I know all the people.
Yeah.
And I was like, awesome.
Yeah. Did she say so we could stay at their place?
It doesn't matter. We'll stay at her place anyway.
As long as they're a stranger that we just met.
Well, so then you went to play then the next night at local.
Back to that for a second.
Okay,
so,
okay.
I mean, let's give some shout outs because
yeah, sure.
So Sophie,
she was really fun,
She was awesome. And then Kendra.
Bruce.
And Bruce.
Bruce was great.
He had some Fort Wayne connections. He knew some people in Fort Wayne. And
This is big.
Mike?
Yes.
Yeah, so this was kind of fun. So I'm talking to this one guy, and he said he had like his Indiana connection, and he asked what, high school I went to, or where kids went or something, I forget. And I said, well, Blackhawk Christian. He said, oh yeah, Caleb first. I said, yeah, Caleb is a graduate. I said, are you a Purdue fan? He said, I used to cover basketball in the state. And I said, oh, that's cool. And I knew his name was Mike at this point, and he was like, yeah.
Or you asked him, what do you mean?
I said, what did you cover? Like, did you cover college, high school? What do you mean you covered? He's like, oh, I had a blog, kind of a, small blog, and I mainly covered IU basketball. He goes, it was called Pegs. And as soon as he started to say it, I was like, Pegs? Yeah. And he's like, he goes, yeah, I'm Mike Pegram. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So it's kind of, I mean, if you're not an IU basketball fan, this
for the record, this means nothing to me.
Right. Livy just walked in. You might have to edit that out. Liv, we'll be with you in just a second. So we're going to continue the story.
We will take a quick commercial break.
Because we'll take a quick commercial break, because we got daughters walking through
everywhere,
who are in towels, taking showers, and so we're going to talk to them, and we will be right back.
Between the two of us, we've had 7 orthopedic surgeries, 4 cortisone injections, and countless injuries that have required physical therapy, and we are only in our early 40s. So where do we go when we need physical therapy? Indiana Physical Therapy.
That's right, Abby. With 22 locations in Fort Wayne and the surrounding counties, Indiana Physical Therapy will be there to get you back to work, play, and life.
Indiana Physical Therapy, where people go to get better.
Visit indianapt.com for more information. All right, welcome back to One More Game, presented by Hoosier Pickleball. So, sorry for all the interruptions, but we're getting through this. So, I don't know if I finished that story, but anyways, I was kind of like fanboy of Mike Pegram, being an IU basketball fan in this blog. He kind of called it a small blog, but he had like 10 to 15,000 subscribers to it, and made a decent amount of money. I think he's since sold the blog in his retirement and so moved down here.
Would he be a worthy guest?
I think he would be. I'd love to hear more about, I mean, it might turn into an IU basketball
That's okay.
podcast, but that'd be all right. Talk some pickleball as well. I actually did not get on the same court with him.
I didn't know who he was.
Yeah.
I didn't meet him.
You didn't meet him, okay. But he was kind of in the same group
Yeah.
that they had set up. And that was another thing, too, need to find out what the name of that app was. So they have like kind of an app that they use for kind of like organizing play. It's not the first time I've heard of it. We just use GroupMe technically, and it turns into kind of a crap show sometimes when we're trying to say, like, who's in? You know, do we have 9? Do we have 10? I'm in. Well, this is like more like there's slots. You choose one, and when they fill up,
That's awesome.
Tough luck.
If anybody knows what that is, would you please let us know? Because
Yes.
we need that.
absolutely. And I can reach out to
Because we've had to say to people, I'm sorry, you're 11, or
Right.
I'm sorry, you're 10.
right.
And
That's what you say to
because
people.
I only like 9.
Yeah,
I'm very adamant about
You're
9.
a 9 snob. That could be a whole pickleball.
Well, and
podcast.
so I don't love saying sorry, you're 10, but
Right.
I'm pretty staunch about that.
Right.
So it'd be nice to have just sign-ups
Yep.
to 9.
It would be.
So please let us know if you know about this app.
I'll reach out to Preston as well. I think
great
you
idea.
can tell us
That's
the
a
name of
great
that.
idea.
So just to kind of put a bow on this, then it was so fun to be able to reach out to people. Met a lot of people that hopefully we'll be able to stay in touch with at least somewhat, or at least next time we're in the area.
Bruce has a place to stay, but he said it's not kid friendly.
Oh yeah, I did love that. When he heard we had 5 girls, he's like, "Well, yeah, sure, you can come stay with me, but not your kids." Basically, that's what he said. Which I
I'm
completely,
like, I like your honesty.
totally understand and totally fine with that.
Yeah.
So just got to find a place for the kids while we go visit Bruce.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun. And then you were starting to say that I did play the next night. I went with a buddy down here to play just some rec games.
Where did you go? I don't even.
It was Pompano.
Oh.
Pompano. I don't know how you say it. And so they have beautiful facility, 12 courts, brand new, but it was crawling with people.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of beginners, which was fine. And,
Yeah.
and you know, love going out there, meeting new people. It was still fun, but it was different than having some organized play
Right.
of higher up. So I'm glad I was able to do both. And then the rest of our time down here, we've just kind of been playing.
Yeah, and then
you
this
know,
morning
here.
we played with our friends.
Yeah,
just
playing with friends and
getting exercise and
drilling a little bit with each other. So it's been good. So the pickleball stuff.
so that's like
Has
the
been good.
Brandenburgers pickleball on the road.
Yes.
How we find pickleball play when we go places.
Right. So that's what we were going to call this episode
Yeah.
was Pickleball on the Road, which is a little bit of a shout out to our friend
Janine,
who has her TikTok channel is called Pickleball on the Road.
and she has our puppies right
She
now.
has our puppies.
And
Abby's ready to go right now.
Uh-huh.
If I said, let's pack up and go,
I would
she
go.
would be all
Because
about it.
I really miss my
Because
dogs.
she misses her puppies.
Are you annoyed by that?
Annoyed's a little strong, but like, do I roll my eyes at it? Yes. So
Yeah.
for those of you listening, yes, I'm rolling my eyes.
Yeah, but you know this about me.
I do know this
Is that
about
I
you,
don't
that you
take long
love
vacations.
Dogs better than people.
Right, but I also I don't take long vacation. I get like ready to go home. I love being home.
You do. And I do. I appreciate that
Yeah.
about you. And I love being home too. But
And this is great, but you know,
It is.
if 7 people in a small condo and there's clothes everywhere and bathing suits everywhere and sand,
looking all around, seeing
It's-
all of it.
yeah,
It's a lot.
I just get to be like, I want to go to my bed and my home and my puppies.
I get it. I get
So-
it. And I'm with you. And I'm
Yeah.
glad that I'll be able to deliver on that very soon.
If our house is still standing.
Yeah, because that's another thing.
Right, the night we left, tornadoes struck Fort Wayne.
And like literally a mile from our house.
Right. Tore a building.
Our church sustained some damage, and
A carpet store.
across the street from our church, like buildings were like torn down and
Yeah.
trees were.
So today
So
apparently was like
There were some
weather.
more storms, but thankfully it sounds like not as bad. But yeah, it's been just kind of a
Yeah.
crazy week.
Yeah.
We didn't even get into regionals. We signed up
Oh,
for regionals.
jeez, yeah.
And we've already taken 2 commercial breaks already.
We don't have any more.
We don't have any more, so I'll try to keep this short. But Abby and I, so one of the big tournaments over the summer will be regionals. It used to be in Fort Wayne, now it's moved to Cincinnati, and we've just had some drama in terms of how all of that has kind of come
Yeah.
about. So it's all worked out, I guess,
Yeah.
is the long and short of it. But there was just kind of some miscommunication, just classic pickleball stuff where you think you're playing with one person, then things come up.
Yeah.
but Abby and
none of it was intentional.
No,
it's just
no.
all kind of what
And
happens.
nobody's upset. There's no hard feelings or anything like that. But I am playing with a gal that I've never played with before for mixed.
But we're like in the car driving, trying to like find partners.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't even want to deal with this. So, yeah,
Because signups were a couple days ago, and we
Right.
had to sign up right away. And
Yeah,
so it.
when some of this went down, like it was like when we were literally in the car traveling down to Florida, and signups were on Monday, so we had to figure it all
Just
out.
scramble.
And
But it all worked out.
It
It's
did all
totally
work
fine.
out, and we're looking forward to it.
Yeah.
But that's a thing also is, even though we didn't sign up together, we were adamant about, well, we don't want to play against each other in a big tournament.
So I'm playing 30 plus.
Yep. So you're acting a little younger. We thought that was better than me acting younger.
Yeah.
You look more like you're 29. Score me some points.
Yeah.
Okay. And yeah, so I'm playing. What are you? Are you playing 4-5?
4-0,
You're
30
playing
plus.
4-0 in
Oh,
mixed,
mhm.
but then in
Women's,
women's you're
I'm
playing
4-5,
4-5,
yeah.
and I'm playing 4-5
5 in men's.
in men's
Yes.
and 4-5, I think, in mixed. Is that what I just said?
No, you're playing
4-0 in
4-0,
mixed.
40 plus
Gotcha.
in mixed.
Yeah, you're right. So kind of going back and forth on those. So looking forward to that. I am looking forward to some big tournaments coming up around the corner. We've talked a lot about like our games feel like they're getting better, and then I've plateaued. And then honestly playing down here against some really good competition, it kind of brings a new focus. Like sometimes playing against the same people, I tend to get like kind of
Lazy.
complacent.
Complacent, yeah.
Yeah. Or even just try to like do too much.
Yeah.
And work on things, which is good
Erica
to do.
did tell you were an over poacher.
She did. That hurt my
You need
feelings.
to work on that.
That hurt my feelings.
It didn't hurt mine.
You were glad she said that. She
Somebody
also,
needed to say it.
She also gave you a couple tips, which I was very happy. And when she told you those tips, you were like, okay. And I'm like, told that to you before, but didn't listen. So maybe we need to work on being more coachable towards each other. Something to work on. Anything else?
Well, I was going to ask you, we've talked about having guests, and I know it's going to happen.
Yeah.
What would be your, like, if you're like, we made it?
Yeah, so this so your brother, who is also down
huge
here,
podcast listener.
and he loves podcasts, and he loves tennis. He kind of hates pickleball.
He's a purist.
He's
he has a tennis
purist.
He has
but
a tennis court in his backyard.
Yeah, and he won't put pickleball lines on it. That's a
refuses.
whole thing. But yeah, he did ask a good question today. Abby was talking to him at the beach, and he said, what's your like ultimate goal? Like who do you want to interview? Because we do want to bring more interviews, and that's one thing, as we move and try to evolve the show. We're going to try to bring more and more interviews, and we've kind of gotten away from that, honestly, in the last.
It's just because life
couple
is
months.
crazy. It really is.
It's a lot easier
we're just
to.
so stinking busy.
It's a lot easier to sit down and write an episode than it is to
Schedule.
schedule people. So, but we're figuring that out, and
Yeah,
we're gonna
just bear
we're gonna
with
start.
us. Yeah.
we're going to start bringing some more. But he threw out the name like Mark Cuban.
Right. He's like Tom Brady,
right.
like Kevin Durant,
I mean, yes.
Mark Cuban.
Any of those.
Jamie
those,
Foxx,
and I would
who
feel
plays
like,
pickleball.
Yeah, that we have arrived. But I do like that. Like shoot for the stars.
What's our goal?
Like who are we trying to interview? And we need to work on getting bigger and bigger names. Will we ever get to those level? I mean, if we get anybody who has like a national following, like I don't want to put like just a number on it, but anybody who has like 1 million followers on social media, like to me that's a million's a big.
Yeah.
I don't ever see us getting to 1 million followers, but if we can interview some people,
let's think positively.
Okay, well let's do it. Tell your friends.
It's Mark Cuban for me. Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's get Mark Cuban.
Why not? I mean,
he owns an MLP team,
you know
right?
what? You know who may know Mark Cuban is Mike Pegram. Indiana connection, right there.
Nailed it.
Yeah. Well, let's get Mike on first.
Okay.
And then we can go from there. So, all right. Things we love. What do you love? I mean, it's
Playing pickleball in Florida.
Yeah, me too. Do you love the heat? I do. I love the heat. I love some people who are down here are like, oh, It's so hot and humid.
I know, they were
down
like,
here.
this is the first humid day. And I was like,
Right.
this is amazing.
This is great.
I have
But
no problem.
then I remember, I think it was Sophie when I was talking to her, and she was like, "Yeah, but shit." She's like, "July and
Oh, I bet.
August
Oh,
is
gosh, yeah.
miserable." And I'm like, "Yeah, but at least you're playing year round."
Yeah.
And I do love I love sweating and drinking cold water after.
Yeah.
You feel like you're working harder when you're sweating more. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's been fun. Pickleball in Florida is what I
Yeah.
love. What about you?
And
And my family.
What's that? Oh yeah, my family and my family. Yeah, just being with the kids for sure. These are where memories are made. I have memories from being at Siesta Key when I was in high school, college, and even when it was just you and I down here. So it's fun to just continue that with the family. And yeah, the other thing that popped into my head is it's Masters Week. A tradition.
You did a Masters draft today.
I did. Yep, on the beach. Mm-hmm. That was a lot of fun. So, got the Masters pool going. Got my picks ready to go. Hopefully, when this is released, I will have won my pool.
Ooh.
But always enjoy watching the Masters, and especially when
I don't
it
know what
falls.
this means, but can you tell us who you took somewhere in this pool? Like,
Yeah.
can you say who you think's going to win?
Yeah, I actually got the number one pick, and I took the defending champion, Scotty Scheffler.
Okay.
I do like
You
him.
heard it here first.
Let's hope he pulls it out. But I got 6 guys on my team. I can't remember all of them.
Okay.
I'd have to go back and look. But
Okay.
we'll just hope he wins, and then I'll be in good shape. Tommy Fleetwood was another one. He's
Okay.
another one.
What do you win?
$70.
Okay.
So,
Awesome.
I mean,
That'll pay for us to go to Chick-fil-A one time.
almost. Depends if I get a cookies and cream shake as well. All right. We'll call it a podcast there. Thanks for joining us in our bedroom from beautiful Siesta Key.
That's the weirdest sentence. Thank you for joining us in our bedroom.
Yeah, and putting up with our interruptions from our beautiful daughters who were showering after they had been to the pool and eating ice cream. Are you going to go eat some ice cream now?
No.
No? Are you going to go to bed?
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you next time. Have a great night. As always, we want to thank our sponsors, Hoosier Pickleball, Indiana Physical Therapy, and Pickleball Rocks. In addition, a big thank you to our production company, Coraggio Media, and the 95.7 WELT studio in beautiful downtown Fort Wayne. Please make sure to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, or find us on YouTube at One More Game Pod. That's the number 1 More Game Pod. Hit that subscribe button and be sure to leave us a 5-star rating to help us spread the word. You can also find us on Facebook and TikTok at Hoosier Pickleball for all kinds of fun, tips, tricks, and other family nonsense, and also some great discussion. Thanks for listening, and we will see you next week.